Hello everyone, my name is Ruby and I'm here today to go through my version of the Nik the Booksmith challenge of being on a deserted island and making a book. You'll have to forgive my videoing skills. This isn't the first video I've ever made, but I think it's only the third, but it's certainly the first one on this channel, and it's been well over a year since I've ever been near a camera, so bear with me and I'll go through what I made. We had 4 givens, so I chose this glue, Dial Decorators PVA. My thinking was, because of one of my other items that I've got, one of my 4 that I could choose myself, I thought I could water it down, but I didn't do that in the end anyway. But anyway, I chose that. That's my glue that I wanted. I chose this green embroidery floss because I think it's a lovely colour. That's my needle. I did quite a bit with these, not just sewing the book together. These are my scissors. Now I chose scissors instead of a knife or a really sharp blade, because you can do that with them as well. And obviously the tea stained paper, we did as much as we wanted. So then I got to choose my items that I wanted. Well, I chose a jam jar with water in it. No water now because I finished the book, but a jam jar with a lid. A Sheena Douglas sparkle pen. It's called Forest Green. No, it's not. It's Forest Walk. I love these pens. Just because they were on a desert island doesn't mean you can't have sparkle, and these things are loaded with it. But it's my writing implement. There's no point in having a book if you can't write in it. So I thought I needed a writing implement. I then chose some fabric. This is just a little sample of it. It's just a plain cream cotton fabric. It frays beautifully, which is why I chose it. It's lovely. I love this stuff. And I wanted some pattern paper, so I chose a bit of an old map, Ordnance Survey map. I suppose it was about A4 size, same size as my tea stain paper. That's my items anyway. So let us move on. This is what I came up with: a traveller size notebook. It was a bit of a job to figure out exactly how I was going to make this cover. So what I did was I glued 4 pieces of tea stain paper together and I made a piece of cardboard with it. Then I did another 4 pieces together, made another piece of cardboard. One of my pieces I used to make a cover. I then used my fabric, glued it on. Actually, before I glued it on, I dyed it with my sparkle pen and my water. I took the lid off because I wanted a palette. So you just give it a shake so you can write in it, write with it. It's beautiful. Look, beautiful. And can you see that glitter? Can you see the sparkle? Probably can't. That's a shame. Because, I tell you, it is, you can see it, you can see the sparkle. I tell you what, even if you dilute this down, which I did, because I made in ink, even the cover sparkles. I don't know whether you can see that, but even the cover sparkles. It is absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, look, you can see them on the tip of the pen. Isn't it beautiful? But anyway, I scribbled in the lid, just a little scribble, added some water, made a beautiful ink, mopped it up with my fabric, and my fabric instantly dyed in lovely patches. I also did the same. I coloured in a piece of this in varying gradients. I added water and all sorts of gubbins so I could get different dark bits, light bits, whatnot. I tore up strips and I made beads with it, and I dipped them in my glue. I put some beads down there as well, little paper beads. I dipped them in my glue because this stuff rocks. It really does. It says it primes and seals. Well, it's like a varnish, and I tell you what, nothing shifts. That is solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. That's a bit of cardboard I made. That's a little bit of map I tore off. These are my this is my ruler. That's just an offcut of cardboard, that is. I don't know if you can see that it's got a green tinge to it. That is from just dipping it in the lid of my jam jar and just letting it pour around. That's how I dyed that. I smeared 2 bits of paper together to get that green effect on there. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, back to my ruler. Sorry, got no script. So, if you take an A4 piece of paper, fold it in half, then you fold it in half again, you end up, and I think you fold it in half again, you end up with 8 anyway. Tear off 2, you're left with 6, fold that in half, you've got a traveller notebook. Near as damn it, I think you're about ½ centimetre different, but close as. And then, if you fold it the other way, in half again, and in half again, that's your centre point, and those 2 on the edge are where you do your stitches, your sewing. You got your 3 points. So we didn't really need a ruler. I'll show you my other version of the ruler later on, but you never know, you might need this ruler. So we're going to shove that back in the pocket. And that's just a little offcut of cardboard as well, you never know. Might come in handy. Oh, one other thing, fold up a piece of the tea size paper and you've got a lovely brush to use for your glue, because you will need to, if you're going to make this, I need you to really layer that glue on lovely and even. When you're making the cardboard, lovely and even. Just fold it up, make a little brush and wipe it on. Really handy. So anyway, I smeared there, and oh, the sparkles. I don't suppose you can see that. It's really in your face. Did a little bit of stitching there on that bit of map, that little bit of map decoration. I got hints of green all over it. That's a lovely bit. Oh, you can see that sparkle there, can't you? That's just a bit that I tore off of this piece of paper I decorated, and I glued that on. Most of this is flip outs. In fact, every page is a flip out. I didn't tear anything. I got more lovely green blotches on here, lovely sparkling everywhere. Oh, it's so uplifting, it really is. I did a bit of stitching there, made a little tab. That's a little bit of that cardboard I made. Oh, confession. Alright, I sewed the 2 pages together when I was doing my sewing. Duh! So I had to do a little repair job there. Never mind. It worked out in the end. Right, I used my fingers on that to give a sort of a bit of a pattern. I got another little bit of map book there. Oh, there's an envelope I made. I'll come to that later. Move that back. Sleeves up and off I go again. More waviness. I'm sorry about these shadows, but you know, nothing I can do. Docked my fingers then to get that pattern, just doubly fingers. Then I got another tab there, more sort of wavy doubly with my fingers. Tore a bit off there, a bit of map decoration there, a bit more decoration. You can still see the tea staining through that paper. It's lovely and dilute the dyes go, but they look really lovely, and I put the fabric underneath. All the bits I tore off I just shoved under there, glued that in. This is the centre now. Made some pretty little beads, and they sparkle too. Oh, they're lovely, they sparkle too. Oh, I don't see why you couldn't have sparkle just because you're on an island. Anyway, I made a little, well, not a pocket, but when you can, you know. There's my tag, sparkly, little bit of map. You can really see where I dyed that fabric now, but just by mopping it up in the lid, it was so easy to get rid of it, you know. That bit there, again, smeary fingers, finger painting. Oh, It's a real pain to get off your fingers, I'll give it that, but oh, it's lovely and shiny, sparkly. Did a little bit of embroidery there. I left the tail in. Got flippy outs, and I just decorated a little bit there. Here I did like a double pocket thing. I did my sleeves. It's like a bookmark tag thing, and I popped that in that top bit there. And then this, it's a bit like a journaling card, I suppose. I just put a bit of fabric there and a little collage there, and you can write on that. Because I've brought a pen to the island, I can write in my book. There's no point in having a book that you can't write in, really. So, well, that was my way of thinking anyway. Again, the doubly fingers, because we're on the other side now. There's 64 pages in here, because I googled a traveller's notebook, and just to get everything, how many pages, I needed to know how many pages I needed to bring, so I googled it. But look, can you see that sparkle? Oh, am I flogging a dead horse here? Can you not? Yes, you can see it. Look at that, and it's so dilute, yet it still sparkles. So we got a bit more flippity jibbities. There we go, lovely. And now we're coming to the end. Oh, that was Mark 1 ruler. I folded a piece of paper in half, in half, in half, in half, and I went on and on and on. Even when I couldn't fold in half no more, I was folding that end of it to get that bit in half, like a concertina. And in the end, I thought that looks smaller than a centimetre. I'm not a decimal person. I'm a feet and inches girl. I grew up in feet and inches, and so I don't do decimals. So well, it was no use to me, really. It looked less than a centimetre, and I thought, I can't work this out. They're too tiny, Made a little book. I sewed, I used my embroidery. Where's the middle page gone? There it is. What was left over of my sheet of cardboard that I made. It's a bit wrinkly, sorry about that, but as using wet glue, I suppose. Here's my pocket. I didn't cut any of my paper, I just folded the whole lot. So that's I thought, oh, can you see a sparkle there? Can you see a sparkle? Can you? Oh. Well, I can. I can see it sparkle, and I love it. So, what else did I want my items for? Here we go. We haven't finished yet. Right, I got my envelope, because I'm stuck on this island, aren't I? So I'm going to write my international bestseller, and I'm going to use these little bits. Right, this I peeled out of the lid, the jam jar lid. It's really funky. It's what's left as a glue. It dried overnight. You never know. I can use that as an embellishment, I suppose. This is all that's left of my fabric. That's a shame, isn't it? But that's all that's left, because I only started with just enough to cover, like Nik told us, just have just enough to cover. That's what was left of my paper. That's a bit of the dipped in the lid stuff. And that, oh no, I've got another little piece of fabric left. Look at that. That was a bit darker. That took the dye a bit more. But you never know. See, I can embellish my journal. Well, there's another little bit. Oh, we are fabric rich, aren't we? That's a little bit of map that I've got left there. So I can embellish. I'm not using these, because these were just to illustrate what my items were. So this is all I had. And well, yeah, I'm going to be stuck there, so I might as well have something to do while I'm waiting to be rescued, which is my next point, and half the reason that I chose what I chose. Right, that goes in the journal. We're going to have that cotton. Oh yeah, we're going to have that cotton. I'm going to want to do something. So, oh, have we been through the tassel? I made a tassel out of the embroidery floss. You've seen my beads, haven't you? Yeah, shown you them. Lovely, lovely. Right, haven't finished yet. Yeah, jam jar, lid, about to break international maritime law by littering the ocean. Right, so this is a bit of map as well. Now, I knew where I was, I knew where I was going to. That has got to be the island I'm on, because there's nothing else there. Nothing. It's got to be that island. X marks my spot. That's going in there. X marks the spot. See map. SOS. Bring gin, chocolate and a spare boat. PS. Handmade traveller notebook for sale. Collection only. Hashtag Nik the Booksmith. Now you see, my reckoning is she's that famous that this bottle has just got to hit any shore, and I'm getting off this island. I might like it on the island, I don't know, so that's why I'm asking. Bring a boat. I can choose, because I think I've chosen wisely so far. I really do. But yeah, that is my version. It was a challenge. Thank you very much for challenging me, and thank you very much for watching me. Now